These are difficult, precarious times in the United States. Basic rights are under attack. So let's take a moment to honor those who stand up, speak out, and fight back. There was a thin line today between freedom and fascism, and it's up for us, you and me, to decide the direction of this nation and the world. One person who did stand up and speak out was Michael Rogner, who was on the Human Rights Advisory Board in Fort Lauderdale.
Tallahassee has not been kind to the LGBT community. And I even heard outrage over, this board maybe reverting its position. Yesterday was the 7th anniversary of the Pulse shooting, where 49 LGBTQ individuals were murdered by a gunman in a nightclub. 53 others were wounded. But yet, this is what the First Lady of Florida wears, which is a jacket that says, "Where woke goes to die." I don't know what kind of message that sends, and certainly those of you who were appointed by her husband will certainly maybe echo the concerns we're having in the school system with guns and weapons, with the level of intolerance and hate that comes from the First Lady's jacket, which is deplorable. There's so much legislation that's been targeting us, and it really has to stop. And I would ask for some courage from some of the governor's appointees to finally push back against the governor and speak up for all students. Thank you.
Another notable leader is Fort Lauderdale Commissioner Stephen Glassman. He presented a city LGBTQ pride proclamation and boldly spoke out against the bigotry that Ron DeSantis has brought to Florida. DeSantis has brought hate to the Sunshine State.
In this past year alone, throughout the United States, led by Florida, more than 500 anti-LGBTQ bills have been passed throughout our nation. This is a difficult time for the LGBT community. So when I read these words, there's an extra importance to the fact that we as a city are saying these words today, and we're saying that we will not cower. It's unfortunate that throughout our state, many pride events have actually been canceled because of the assault on our community. There's this obsession, not just with the LGBTQ community in general, but in particular with our transgender brothers and sisters and drag queens. For the life of me, I cannot figure it out. But I will say, and it's important to note, that all we are saying is, let us live. And that's what government should do. Government, like our city commission, should enable every single citizen to have a fulfilling life.
What Rogner and Glassman did is exactly what we need to do. Where are the rest of the public officials? They need to get off their seat, get off their duff, and speak out now while we have a chance to win over this country and save our democracy. Authoritarians like Ron and Casey DeSantis thrive by terrifying people, by cowing them into submission and silence, and we cannot let that happen. These bullies are only as powerful as we allow them to be with our complicity. Fight instead of fear. Everyone with a platform in Florida, especially public officials, should use it to hold Ron DeSantis accountable for his reprehensible record and nasty streak that has targeted immigrants, African Americans, LGBTQ people, and women, and really everybody else who believes in critical thinking, who doesn't want to see books banned, who doesn't want to see education replaced with ignorance. Anybody who believes in these things is against Ron DeSantis. And it is so nice to see officials like Glassman and Rogner use their platform for good and to fight evil. Ron DeSantis might be our next president, so you cannot take his actions lightly. And God help this country if DeSantis ever steps foot in the White House. But people like Glassman and Rogner are ensuring that that will not occur.